Hello, welcome everyone. I just want to say first, thanks to Nick at NZ or NZ Woodturning for giving me the opportunity to make the chess piece for his charity auction. I know it was originally supposed to take place at Maker Central, but some pieces haven't been turned in time, I guess. And as of this video, Maker Central was last weekend. And at any rate, Nick has said he will try to do the auction on his website or on his channel, or find some other fashion of doing that, which is fine by me, and I'm sure all of the other makers involved in this, they just want to see this happen and do good for whatever charity Nick has planned for it. From the comments I've read and things I've heard other people say, my Instagram and whatnot, everybody seems to like all the pieces I've shown so far, including mine. Like I said, I gotten tons of positive feedback, and many of you guys have found me by way of Nick's channel, and I just want to thank you guys for tagging along and watching this video, and hopefully you've subscribed and shared this video with others. All I can say is, if you like this content, stay tuned, because there'll be more stuff like this, more signs and everything the channel's about. I know so far I haven't posted any coding or photography stuff, but it's coming. This channel is just getting started, so. Also, the guys at the Glowforge community, I know a lot of them were interested in this video as well, so just want to make sure I get this out to you guys before the auction takes place. So far there's no date for that, as far as I know. I also just want to apologize for this video quality in this intro, as this is filming with my cheap HD webcam. Normally everything is recorded in 4K, but I didn't get a chance to record that intro on that camera, and I just wanted to get this out. Anyway, the rest of the video, once we get into it, will all be in 4K. I know a lot of people think that 4K is not needed or whatever, but I think it is, and I will do my damnedest to have every video on my channel at least 4K, maybe even 8K at some point. Who knows? Also, I just wanted to point out, in case you haven't noticed, but my little horse is right here. This is the only other one in existence besides the one that I sent Nick. I had other ones that I made for prototyping, but I have destroyed those, so yeah. And there it sits. Without further ado, let's get into it. Going to make a knight, but I wanted to make a knight on a horse not just the horse. So this is what I've come up with. And yes, I should have filmed the building of all of this, but that was actually several hours and I just needed to get through this. So I have a couple iterations that I already printed out to test fittings and all that, and all of the sections, and to make sure that it's a tight fit, because I didn't want to glue these parts on. There's a couple pieces that I will have to, but for the most part, I just wanted it to be held together by friction or force or whatever. And I know there's a word for it. I think it is friction fit, but whatever. So one of the things that I thought would be kind of an issue, well, not really an issue, but just like a harder thing to print out on the laser cutter, which would be that, and you'll see this on the piece when I show you, which is that the horse, which is the middle section, the other part of the middle section, the knight, which is also in the middle section, and then also this one, which I'll explain. Essentially, these details need to be printed on both sides or engraved on both sides of the plywood. Instead of printing everything out and then trying to flip over the wood and realign all the pieces, I thought it would be easier to print out two of these already at the same time, opposite directions, of course. And that way, without moving the piece of wood, piece of plywood that the first etched layer comes out of, I could take both of these pieces out and essentially flip them over into each other's space, and then reprint the just the horses and the guy without having to realign everything. I have to be careful not to move the initial piece of wood that I used on the first layer. Now I know that's printing out twice as much material for these two, but I think I'm gonna make one of these for myself anyway, so just to keep. Otherwise, this is going to be a one-of-a-kind piece. I guess two-of-a-kind piece in this case. And then I will delete this file and never print it again, because I want this to be a special piece for the person who wins this chessboard. So this piece, which acts as the base, this is going to go on top of it, and then these will fit in there. You can see like one piece will fit this way and the other piece will fit this way. So if you look at it on an angle, the bottom of the horse kind of looks like a regular chess piece, and just instead of going up into the horse head, it goes up into the whole body. And then there's like sections on each side of the horse that kind of give it a three-dimensional look. This is actually the knight's legs, which go here, and this one goes here, which kind of hold the horse out three-dimensionally. And then the body of the knight will fit in here, and then the shoulders will go on top of the knight. And then of course he has a shield and a sword. Sorry, getting back to this base piece, I flipped this over within the template as well, and engrave my logo onto the bottom of the piece. My apparently very, very small logo that Nick couldn't read. And now the shield as well. There's 3 layers here. The first one will get cut out, and then I will flip that over and engrave this little box here, which will fit on the arm. Now I will have to glue that, and I will have to glue the sword into his hand. And probably, just in case, I will glue the base, the horse to the base. And of course this needs to get glued onto here. One last layer will be this black piece. Is going to get cut out of either a walnut or a cherry veneer, adhesive veneer, which will obviously fit on the shield, just to give it a little different look. I didn't want to have everything engraved. So that is about it. I'll show you these test pieces right now, and then we'll print out this version and see how it comes together. Here is my first laser cut version of the knight. Mind you, the knight is missing. That's because I wanted to get fittings correct so far. And there's no engravings on this yet either. You can see how, if you remember from the image, I had the knight actually about right here sitting on the horse, with his legs kind of wrapping around it. So I ended up removing this piece, well actually I ended up making this piece his legs and moving it forward a tiny bit. So before, these 2 pieces were the same, just one on top and one on bottom, which had to be because of, I couldn't put one from the bottom here. This is version 2. There are some engravings in there, so you can kind of see how his legs are, how the piece is wider now to support his legs. This side you can see, except for the horse legs, there's no engravings on the knight or on the horse face, or even on the bottom here. You can see the knight has details on him, but not on the back, and I'm not too worried about that. I don't think it's necessary. Other thing I did is I changed the shape of his helmet. I didn't really like how flat it was, and I closed off his eyes a little bit. The other thing I did, I was originally going to make him like a jousting, which is why he has this stick. But as I thought about it, jousting is more of a tournament game, not really fighting. So I figured in chess you're basically fighting off another kingdom. So in the next version he's gonna have a sword. And then you can see on his arm here, the shield kind of flows with the arm, and I also didn't engrave anything on there on the back side of the shield. So if you remember, I had that little box that was actually tilted
which when we engrave that will allow this shield to come forward more on an angle. It'll be more straight. I think that corresponds better to how somebody would actually hold the shield. Specs wise, and I'm not sure if this is an average size, but the dimensions that I was given for this chessboard anyway is the base is 1.5 inches, and he shouldn't be any larger than 3.5 inches, and I think I'm actually just below that 3.5 inch mark. The horse is on an angle like he's getting ready to fight or take off and start running or something, you know. So if you were wondering why the horse is on an angle, that is why. I figured it's like the horse is, you know, like he said, whoa, and you know, I'm gonna go attack somebody now, and I don't know what the I'm saying. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Know what I mean, mate? I'm testing out a new camera. My old camera wasn't very good. Look, you can't see me. And now you can. Now you can't. Now you can. Hey, Ringo. F you. That's Ringo. Anyway. Let's just get to printing that next and hopefully final version. And these are going to get burned because I only want the 2 versions out there. I think that would be more special for the person who wins the chess set. All right, let's get to printing.
Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Have the Glowforge running in the background. Come on, processing. Thank you. So here's my file for the night. I need to break up these pieces. That one. Okay. These ones can go bye-bye for now. Going to be using some scrap plywood that I had plenty of space left on. And I was trying to figure out the different colors that I wanted the wood to be. So for the horse and the main base, I'm going to go with a cherry color because I figure a horse should be kind of brownish or whatever. The sword, the shield, and the very bottom circle are going to be made out of maple to kind of get the lightest color. And this piece is going to go on top of the bottom base, and then the knight itself, I figure we'll make him a dark knight, and we will make him out of walnut. So let me show you the piece that I will be using, We'll put it in the Glowforge and then we'll align it.
So, this is the piece I'm using. Like I said, it's walnut. I have obviously used it. Actually cut out some sun catchers that I made before. But plenty of space to use, especially for that night. So, let's get this in the Glowforge and realign it on the desktop. Alright, so we got that piece in there. Now I'm just going to kind of place these where they will fit within the space left. I am going to put these guys over here. And I want these guys towards the edge, so I can easily swap them out. Engrave, cut, and these are actually going to be a score. The draft line will work fine for that one, and standard for that. You want to cut last. Okay, so as I was saying before, the reason I want two of these opposite direction is so when this is done cutting the first time, I could take this shape out and this shape out and flip them over and put them, like put this one in this area and this one in that area, and then reprint just these. These aren't necessary. What that will do is allow me to get the engraving and score marks on both sides without having to realign everything. If I were just to cut this once and let's say take him and put him right here, just on the background itself or whatever, like if I put him over here, the cutout piece anyway, and try to align that to the piece that was already cut out, it would probably, I mean, I could do it, but it would take a couple tries to align it, and that, that would take a little time. So just to save time and headaches, we're gonna cut out two of them, and like I said, then I'll just end up making two of them anyway. So with that said, I do need to double these up so I can make two different sets, and that should be fine. Now I know there's like a lot of material over here and it doesn't really matter. I'll be able to use material on another project. I can utilize this space by making smaller keychains or magnets or something to that effect. Projects on a smaller scale is very useful for this kind of space that's limited.
So I think we are good here. I am going to go ahead and hit print. And we will wait for the little blinky light to come on. And there it is. That's how we know it is ready to be printed. So now I'm going to hold this down. And flip them over. Nothing has moved. I will simply delete these. And you can kind of see how this image is offset, and that's because there's only one camera in the Glowforge and it's centrally located. So as things get off to the edge over here, the images don't quite align where they should be, you know. So even though it looks a little off, I haven't moved anything, so I know it's going to cut in the exact same place. Rather, it's going to engrave and score. We already cut it, so this is going to be ignored. So we want just engravings and score lines. But as I was saying, the reason these are offline because of the camera is why it would be harder to try to take a piece that's already been cut and align it with it just anywhere in the background rather than leaving it within the piece. So let's go ahead and engrave on the second side. Alright, up next we're going to be doing the cherry plywood. All these shapes that are in here. Should be all the cherry, the horse, base, yeah. Okay. Let's get the piece of wood in there. Okay, so let's get the settings done first. These will be a cut. Cuts go last. These will actually be scores. Just the draft quality is fine. We don't want it too deep. and standard engraving. So we have one horse. Trying to put the ones that I gotta flip over on the edges to make them easier to get out. All of these. All of these we need 2 of. I'll just try to best fit them. Okay, actually I'm not going to use these pieces because I don't know which way the grain is going. As long as I use the same piece of wood in the same orientation, I just want to make sure the grain matches throughout the whole piece. So these ones actually need to flip over as well, just because of the score line I have in there. But I think I could probably use a piece of tape to pull them up if I can't get them up any other way. We'll try it out though. Alright, now I can just get rid of these. And ignore the cut. Okay, I think those are all fine. We do have to turn these over, as the backside of this will get engraved with this block. The backside of this will get engraved with my logo, which will become the underneath the chest piece. And the final piece, which is this, we were going to cut out of veneer walnut to give this shield a two-tone colored look. This is the little veneer. Which is all the laser cut materials that you buy that are specifically for laser. It has this masking tape over it. So what that does is you can see the bird marks are on the tape rather than on the piece. You can definitely see how the bird marks would affect the quality of the piece if it was on that. So you'd already see the contrast between the colors. Maple will be even lighter than the cherry.
This is a little veneer. Now these do have a adhesive back on them. Just make sure you place it correctly. That's pretty good. Then we peel off the masking. There's our little shield. And there you go. One night. Not a bad day's work here, huh? It's actually a couple of days, but, you know, total time. It'll only be about a day. Can't wait to see what the other creators come up with on their chess pieces. Future congrats to the winner of the auction, and I guess that's it. So, like, subscribe, and until next time.